What's going on, guys? Akhil Vemuri back here again today with another video, this time being with the AFC East. My predictions, my thoughts on the teams and how their season might go, going about 4 weeks ahead before the season starts. So anyway, let's get started with the team that's finished 4th last year at 6-10 in the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins. This year they picked up Ole Miss offensive tackle Tunsil with the 13th pick in the first round. They also managed to pick up Arian Foster this year, the running back. He unfortunately is coming off a torn Achilles, missing a lot of last season. So it's going to be interesting going forward how Arian Foster might impact this team. You know, he brings a lot of experience to these very, very young running back team, especially with Ajayi. And also, as the Dolphins picked up Arian Foster, who was a Texan, the Texans picked up former Dolphin Lamar Miller. So they basically, essentially, quote-unquote, traded their running backs this offseason. So that was pretty ironic and funny. Anyways, their last season on offense, Tannehill had a pretty good year, passing yards, 4,000 yards. Lamar Miller had pretty good, I wouldn't say it's really good, but I mean, it's not bad, 800 yards in the season. Jarvis Landry, of course, their best wide receiver last year with 1,157 yards. So that was very, very, really good season for him. And going ahead, let's look at their big names. They have Tannehill at quarterback, of course. Now they have Arian Foster as running back. With their wide receivers, they have Jarvis Landry, Kenny Stills, who was Mr. Attitude in high school. Let's talk about that another time anyways. They have the defensive end, Cameron Wake. They also have Mario Williams. They have the center, Mike Pouncey. They have the defensive tackle in Su. And of course, the tight end, Jordan Cameron. My prediction for them, I don't know. They had an okay season. I wouldn't say the best, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it was the worst. They have a difficult going forward. So I'm guessing that they will go 5-12 this season. Unfortunately, they'll do better than they won't do better than last year. Actually, they went 6-10 last year, but this year I'm guessing maybe 5. If they're lucky, 6 wins. So it's going to be interesting going forward with the Dolphins. If you're a Dolphin fan, I'm sorry. It's going to be a couple more years before you guys can rebuild. Unfortunately, you guys spend a lot of money on which should have been spent on other people as well, but you know, that's the name of the game. Money means a lot to a lot of these people. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills, who finished third actually last season in the AFC East at 8-8. They in their first round, their first pick at number 19, they picked up Clemson's defensive end Shaq Lawson. They of course they finished 8-8, third in the AFC East. Big thing that's been going around is rumored is Reggie Bush, who's coming off a torn ACL at the age of 31. He's rumored to go to the Bills, which is astonishing given that he's 31, which is quite old for a running back. Also, he's coming off a torn ACL, which is important for anybody. I mean, ACL injuries can hurt you a lot. It takes a lot of recovery time, a lot of recouping to get a good feel of your leg again, you know, to get a good run time. Because as a running back, you need to be able to get away from tackles. You need to be able to run fast, of course, be able to outmaneuver a lot of the defensive players. And I don't know if Reggie Bush would be the best option. He does give you the experience, which would help since their running back Carlos Williams received a 4-game suspension for violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. So that's going to be important for them to pick up a running back. They could have gone for Arian Foster, but they decided not to. And so it's going to be interesting. Their big names, of course, Tyrod Taylor at QB, McCoy at running back, and of course, Carlos Williams also running back. They got Sammy Watkins, who had a great season last year at wide receiver. He had 1,047 yards, 9 touchdowns, 60 receptions, so that's a really great year for him. Sean McCoy had an okay year, especially after given all the hype he had with being with the Dallas Cowboys. No, that was not him. I'm so sorry, that's not him, LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy was with the Eagles last year. I have no clue. I'm sorry. I need to cut this. Sorry. Yeah, LaShawn McCoy had 895 yards, carrying about 203 times with only 3 touchdowns. Not a great year for him. Tyrod Taylor had an okay passing yards with 3,035 yards, 20 touchdowns. He had pretty good QBR of 67.8. So it's going to be interesting seeing they have a pretty good team, really good defensive players in Darius and Kyle Williams, and of course Butler at cornerback and Darby at cornerback as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing how far the Bills can go after surprising a lot of people, going 8-8 last year, potentially being a wild card last year in the playoffs. Anyway, let's go to the second seed last year in the AFC East, the New York Jets. Okay, the biggest thing, they picked up their offensive linebacker, outside linebacker Darren Lee with the 20th pick in the draft from Ohio State. They finished second, of course, 10-6. They were smart enough to pick up their defensive end Mo Wilkerson for 5 years and $86 million. This frees up about $2 to $3 million more dollars for them to sign Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's really important. He had a great season for them last year. He had 3,905 passing yards, QBR of 36 and 31 touchdowns, but the important thing was that he helped them. Without him, if they had Geno Smith, they would not have gone 10-6. With Fitzpatrick, they were able to win 10 games last season, which was very important for them. Nice step up. They're going in the right direction, in my opinion. Chris Ivory, their running back, had a great year last year with 7 touchdowns, 247 carries. And Brandon Marshall, one of their major wide receivers, got 1,502 passing yards, 14 touchdowns from 109 receptions. Some notable names, of course, Geno Smith, Matt Forte at running back, their center Nick Mangold. They have the defensive tackle Sheldon Richardson, defensive lineman Mo Wilkerson, the safety Marcus Gilchrist, wide receivers in Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, and of course their cornerback Revis Island, Daryl Revis. You can't forget they had Tony Cromartie last year, but they had to let him go this year. So unfortunately, their defense is a bit weaker this year, but don't count them out. They definitely have a really, really good team. I think that they will be, unfortunately, third this year at 9-7. I don't think they will sign Fitzpatrick, and Geno Smith will be their go-to leader this year. And of course, I forgot to tell you, I think that the Bills will go 10-6 with Bob Ryan helping them a lot defensively. They were able to have Bob Ryan now as their defense and assistant head coach. So that's going to help them a lot. I feel that they're going to be second in the AFC East, behind, of course, the Patriots, who I think will win the AFC East with a 13-3 record. And I am going to go on a limb right now. All 3 losses are going to be with Brady out. They're going to win 1 with Brady out, with their new quarterback, quote-unquote, Garoppolo, G-Man, whatever you want to call him. So it's going to be really, really interesting, since the Deflategate was going on for 2 years now. I seriously think it was such a waste of time, to be honest. The Tom Brady should not be the one who's penalized. If anything, it should be the management. It should be the ball people. Tom Brady's not responsible for it, to be very, very honest with you, because he's a quarterback, and he can, if he knew the ball was flat, he would have noticed. Plus, not to mention the other team, what game was that? They played against the Colts. The Colts defense could have noticed that the ball was flatter. What they do, they didn't say anything. They were quiet the entire time. They still got blown out. You see the games before that, they got blown out by 20, 30 points. So it only makes sense that even though the Patriots blew the Colts out, they blew them out beforehand as well, with almost basically the same team. So why not again? I don't understand why it's still going on, and it shouldn't. But the Patriots unfortunately got robbed this time. They have a really good team, to be honest, with Brady at quarterback, tight end and Gronk, wide receiver Amendola, Edelman. A lot of the same players still back, with Blount, Dion Lewis back healthy, Gostkowski, who unfortunately lost the game against the Broncos in the playoffs in the AFC Conference Championships. And we got Keyshawn Martin, we picked him up. Matt Slater, we also picked up. Bennett, tight end. I feel like our defense is the weak part, with Ninkovich at defensive end, defensive lineman Malcolm Brown, linebacker with Hightower and Collins, cornerback at Malcolm Butler, McCourty at defensive back, and Chung at safety. We just don't have that depth to protect from the pass. I feel like our defensive pass is pretty weak. Tom Brady had an excellent year last year, of course, with 4,770 yards passed, 36 touchdowns, and a QBR of 64.4. Blount, the running back, if I'm not mistaken, he got injured during the season. No, that was Dion Lewis. Lewis got injured, but Blount, 703 yards, 165 carries, 6 touchdowns. All right, not a great year, but I mean, he still added up the yards. With him, I mean, we were able to finish 12-4, first in the AFC East. And, with Garoppolo being quarterback for the first 4 games, I feel like Edelman should be the quarterback instead, because Edelman can definitely throw. If you saw the playoff game against the Ravens 2 years ago, they did a fake pass to Edelman, and Edelman threw it to Amendola, if I'm not mistaken, and bam, we got a touchdown from that. So the Ravens weren't ready for that. Amendola is definitely a really good wide receiver, not as great as Edelman, so we will be losing some good receivers, but Edelman definitely has that hand to throw, the arm to throw. Our safety, Nate Ebner, will be representing the USA in the Rio Olympics playing rugby. So we technically won't be losing him, but he is a good player for our defense, important player, because we don't really have big names defensively. And, even with the Deflategate suspension for Tom Brady, the Patriots are favored to win Super Bowl 51. And not to mention, Brady almost single-handedly brought the Patriots back in that loss against the Broncos in the AFC Conference Championships. The odds for the Patriots winning 6-1 at Westgate, with Seahawks, Steelers, Packers all at 8-1. It's going to be interesting, especially the AFC East. A lot of people say this is the easiest division to pick out. It's going to be different this year because, of course, the Patriots are going to win. Everybody knows that. But after that, it's anybody's game with the Bills, the Jets, and even the Dolphins, to be honest. All of them are not necessarily elite team, but all of them are also not like low bottom teams. They have the chance, they have the talent to go. They just need to mesh well together. They need to find the right formula to win so that they can go to the next round. They can go to the playoffs, take the next step, and potentially be able to sign free agents, since that they are going in the right direction, going to the playoffs, which is the next step for the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins with great talent. So, hope you guys really enjoy this video. I hope you guys like this video. Comment down below what you guys think about who you think is going to win the AFC East, whether it's going to be the Patriots, Bills, Jets, Dolphins. What are your thoughts on the Deflategate? Was it really this big of an issue? Do you think that the Patriots will win any games with Tom Brady out? Do you think they will all 4 games with Tom Brady out? What are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts about Bob Ryan defensively helping the Bills potentially go to the playoffs this year as a wild card? I want to know your guys' thoughts a lot. It's going to mean a lot to me to read your guys' comments, see what you guys think about each team, each division especially, because tomorrow I will be giving you guys my predictions on the AFC North and possibly the AFC South as well. Both 2 videos possibly tomorrow being dropped, so be sure to catch those. And of course, if you want to see more of this content, be sure to subscribe to me at Cabin 6 Studios. And until next time, Akhil Vemuri signing out. Peace.